are right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 21st day of December 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gloria Musimbi and you can interact with us on our Twitter handle at HopeTV_KE. The hashtag is Hope TV Newswatch. Making headlines, the East African Community Regional Force EACRF, which is completing the withdrawal from DRC, says it has made necessary arrangements to ensure the Southern Africa Development Alliance SADC force, which is expected to enter the DRC to patrol, continues the peacekeeping mission without hitches. Kenya's KDF, which has been among the EACRF, has already arrived in the country and was received by the Chief of Staff Francis Ogola at the JKIA International Airport. The UN Security Council voted for the phased withdrawal of the UN Peacekeeping Force MONUSCO from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Council extended MONUSCO's mandate by 1 year while agreeing to the removal of the force in 3 terms. Our very own Alice Diana tells us more.
Chief of Defense Forces CDF General Francis Ogola has today received Kenyan contingent deployed under East African Community Regional Force EACRF in Eastern DRC, whose mission to the Central African state came to an end on December 8th this year. The soldiers were among the East African Community Regional Force EACRF troops deployed to restore peace in DRC. According to EACRF Commander Major General Alfasad Kyugu, the last batch of the multinational security force left DRC soil Thursday, December 21st, 2023. Speaking in Goma earlier on Thursday, General Kyugu said the troops that were drawn from Kenya, Uganda, Burundi and South Sudan played a critical role in brokering of ceasefire between the M23 rebels and the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he notes reduced loss of lives and allowed flow of relief to the victims. The conflict had been occasioned by the notorious M23, which captured areas bordering Rwanda and Uganda. This prompted the EAC heads of state from Kenya, Burundi, Uganda and South Sudan to approve the deployment of their troops in November 2022. Kenya's troops, Kenya Defense Forces KDF, were the first to be deployed to DRC in November 2022, following authorization by the EACC heads of state. Burundi troops followed in March 2023. Uganda and South Sudan both deployed on April 2nd, 2023. Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you very much, Alice Diana. And elsewhere, President William Ruto has implored Kenyans to be patriotic and stop talking ill of their country. Speaking at the Eldoret State Lodge, Uasin Gishu County, when he hosted officials and children from 52 children's homes ahead of the Christmas festivities, Ruto emphasized the need for Kenyans to defend and love their country, saying the stable state of the country has made the government declare the country a visa-free regime beginning next year. He, however, said the new laws on children have created mechanisms that allows more Kenyans to look after children in the streets and orphanages.
I am very confident that under the new laws, we will continuously look after our children so that there are no children out there in the streets, there are no children who are suffering, that all our children are looked after. And look at these innocent guys, you know, very innocent people, you know, they are doing their thing. They don't even know that there is a president around. They are not bothered. They are not even bothered, you know. This is really something, you know. And this is the innocence of these kids. You know, anybody who takes it out on them would really be committing an injustice to these little children. So, and Jesus taught us, he said, let the young children come to me. You know, so it should be the case for every parent. Let the small children come to us as parents, as Kenyans, as people who God has blessed us, so that we can look after them and we can build a stronger nation, a stronger society, build stronger families, and build a stronger country as Kenyans. Let us love our country. There are too many negative voices out there. If there is a small issue somewhere, it's blown out of proportion. There's another issue somewhere. People talk negatively about our country. It's completely unnecessary. This is our motherland. This is our country. It is the only country that we have. It's the only home given to us by God. Other people appreciate Kenya.
Nilitaka tu kuatia moyo sisi wote, nyinyi wote, kusema kwamba Mungu ako na mipango mizuri kuhusu maisha ya kila mtoto na kila mtu hapa. Na Mungu anapotujalia kwenda katika mwaka wa 2024, waacha mapenzi ya Mungu yatendeke katika maisha ya kila mmoja wetu. Na nataka tena niseme kwamba God has a good plan for each and every one of you children.
We are so happy today that our president has found time to meet the small children. It's a very unique president that every year he finds time during his special day, the birthday, to provide for small children.
And a section of political leaders under the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition have condemned President William Ruto on using the ceremonial sword and power granted to him on dissenters of his affordable housing project. Led by Bumula MP Wamboka Wanami, the leaders from the Western region have criticized President Ruto's utterances, noting that it is against the law and embarrassing for a national leader. Among the issues they raised were privatization of parastatals, the high cost of living, threat claims from the head of state, and legislative measures taken by members of parliament.
Rais mzima akiwa Kisii anasema mambo ya koti yeye ametupilia mbali. Rais Ruto anasema alipewa sword. Yule mtu anapinga yeye kama kina sisi ati atatumia sword. Rais mzima, shame on you Mr. President.
Lakini kama watu wetu hivi leo mtu anatembea kama rais, anasimama kule Kisii akiwa mtata kwa sababu amesema kazi haifanyiki, anasema anaenda kufinya huyo. Hii ni halali kweli? Uongozi sio kusimama mbele ya watu ukipiga kifua. Uongozi sio kusimama mbele ya watu ukianza kutoa vitisho za maisha mbele ya kwa maisha ya watu fulani. Hawa watu pia wako na mama.
Tulipopiga kura tulijua tutapata uwezo wa kujimudu kama wananchi wa Kenya. Lakini la kushangaza ni kwamba maisha imekuwa ghali na wananchi kote nchini Kenya wanaumia. Wasinyamaze. The members of parliament should give the ordinary mwananchi hope. Kwa sababu kila siku tunaambiwa hii ni ushuru juu ya ushuru, ushuru juu ya elimu, ushuru juu ya maisha, ushuru juu ya chakula na kila kitu.
Hatuwezi kamwe kuruhusu rais wa nchi anunue kanisa, anunue mahakama na anunue wabunge wote. Katiba haisemi hivyo. Haisemi hivyo.
Elsewhere, contractors under the Dishina County School Feeding Program have officially handed over 10 central kitchens, evenly constructed in 17 sub-counties in Nairobi, to cater for Governor Sakaja's subsidized school meal initiative. According to Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, more 180,000 kids are targeted to benefit from the program on the first day of the opening first term in January 2024. He also noted that the construction of another 14 kitchens are set to begin next year, January. The Nairobi's Dishina County School Feeding Program was officially rolled out early September and implemented in 4 phases. In the first budget for the financial year 2023 to 2024, 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings was allocated towards the feeding program.
The entire program for us in this financial year was around 1.7 billion. That is including the cost of the food, the subsidy of the food. A meal goes from around 50 to 55 shillings, and we're subsidizing it, so the parent only pays 5 shillings, and that's in partnership with the Child Investment Foundation Fund. And so the 1.2B is for that subsidy, 400 a term. Then the 500 was for the actual infrastructure, the kitchens that have gone up. We're doing another 7 kitchens in this financial year, and we're happy that our partners are also doing an additional 7. You realize that many of our children are not in those public primary schools. We have only 250,000 children in these public primary ECDs, public primary schools and ECDs. And that is why, together with the national government, we are also building another 5,000 classrooms. 3,500 by national government for primary and junior secondary. And we're doing now the remainder for the ECDs so that we can bring our children into the formal structure of education. We've completed 10 kitchens for school feeding. And so we're here just to review how that process was before we do the complete handover. They're in all parts of the city, and they're going to help us move the numbers up from 80,000 to 190,000, thereabout, starting from first term in all the different parts of our city.
Residents living in the disputed 44,000 acres Mwea settlement scheme in Embu County have threatened to stage demonstrations after the New Year celebrations over what they say is a scheme to dispose them of their inheritance. While speaking at Mbonzuki Market in Mwea Ward, the locals, who are accompanied by the local leaders, said it was unfortunate that still the exercise of issuing title deeds was underway without solving some contentious issues that made the government suspend the exercise. The locals have maintained that no person will leave their land since they are legally owners of the land, adding there were no legal titles in existence following the suspension in 2018 by the High Court in Embu after subdivision turned chaotic, leaving one person dead.
Nimekuja huko 1985. Kutoka 85 mpaka leo watoto wamekuwa wazee, mimi nimekuwa mzee. Sasa wale watu wanasema ni skimu ni yao. Waonyeshe serikali barua ile ambayo wamenunua naye hiyo shamba, na sisi tunajua shamba ni ya serikali. Na tuko na kitambulisho ya hapa. Tuko na kitambulisho hata watoto yangu ile ambayo niko naye. Sasa wengine wanatoka huko Keretile, wanakuwa huko pande ya Embu, wengine wanatoka Nyeri, ati wanaenda kuchukua title shamba ambaye tunaishi. Tunataka amani na hatutaki vita. Kila mmoja akae kwao, kwa maana siku yote wanajua mahali ya kuishi. Wanatafuta shamba ya kuuza na hakuna shamba ya kuuza hapa area hii ya scheme.
Sisi tunaomba serikali ikuje isaidie watu hapa. Watu wamezaliwa hapa zaidi ya miaka 40 na mtoto amezaliwa na anaambiwa aondoke kwa shamba ya babake pahali alizaliwa. Jameni, anaondoka aende wapi? Kwani huyu si Mkenya? Sisi ni wa Kenya. Sisi ni wa Kenya. Tunaomba serikali kuu ikuje hapa ituambie wakati inapatiana title deed mtu ako Ishiara, mtu mwingine ako Murang'a, mwingine ako Kiambu County. Watu wamekaa hapa hii miaka yote, wanataka watoke hapa waende wapi?
Wao wanafanya nini wakati unapea watu title kwa shamba ambao hata mtu mwenyewe hajui ni wapi? Hajui ni wapi anapewa title aende. Unampatia title. Hiyo ndio incitement ya serikali against its own people.
Sisi tunamlia kiongozi wetu kama President Ruto. Asikia maombi yetu sisi kama wamama. Tuko na shinda mingi sana. Hebu atusikie. Hebu ona bila tunateseka, tunasomesha watoto wetu ni wandogo, hatuna mahali pa kuenda na tunaambiwa tuende. Sasa sisi tunaenda wapi jameni?
And with that, we come to our first news break. Stay tuned for more news updates.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mohanji with a double I, and today we are with Hope TV. Look and live. And this is a Merry Christmas to everyone watching and a happy 2024. Enjoy it. Enjoy this festive season with your family and have a good time. Tukisema mema. Look at the vibe. Look at the time. Kenye ulisema utatenda, Baba litenda. Mema, mema, unifanye mema, tenda mema. unitende wema, mema, 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 mema. I see you, ukiwa baba na ukiwa mwana, and I see you being the Lord of my life. I'm prayed up, live large, I'm blessed up. God good, I praise him, cause you're the Lord of my life. Intention ya king neti kingdom isimame, back left ya chukue usukane. Usiniambie juu ya pressure kiongozi, double I kwenye kanda Maulana. Mema, mema, unifanye mema, tenda mema, unitende wema, mema, 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 mema.
It's finally here. The breakfast show that will kickstart your morning with a message of hope, coupled up with wholesome music, and of course, captivating conversations that matter to you.
We shall touch on topics on law, relationships, the Christian walk, and in addition, we will also be keeping you up to date with news and all the trending topics.
Join me, Beatrice Watare,
and me, George Gishuru, every Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Hope at Dawn.
Only on Hope TV, where you look
and live.
Welcome back. And ahead of Christmas festivities, Thika administration police officers have shown their humanitarian side through a charitable exercise during this festive season as they donate foodstuffs to orphans. Speaking while donating foodstuffs to shared children's homes in Kiganjo, Thika, Thika West Administration Police Chaplain Reverend Isaac Mburu said the contribution was out of their individual effort as a way of giving back to the community.
Mpango huu uliyepangwa wa kuja kuleta kile tuliyekuwa nacho mahali hapa umepangwa na askari wa AP. Mara nyingi watu hawa tunawachukulia isiyofaa na tunaona kama ni watukutu na kasi ni fujo. Ninataka kuambia ni watoto wetu na wana kasi nyingi na kubwa wanayefanya iliye nzuri. Kwa hivyo tuwape heshima yao. Naomba wewe uliye na watu wa karibu, wale walie hawana uwezo wa kupata chochote, ninakuomba wewe uliye na kitu utoe sehemu ya mali yako uwapatie, kwa sababu hiyo ndio Krismasi, kuonyesha upendo.
Nimefurahia siku hii ya leo. Maafisa wa polisi wa Thika Town wametutembelea na wametuletea vitu za Christmas. Wametuletea unga, wametuletea manguo, wametuletea mabiscuits na masoda. At least watoto wetu pia watafurahia kama watoto wengine huko nje.
Tuliungana wote katika Thika AP fraternity, kuanzia kwa kubwa mpaka sisi, tukaweza kuchanga, tukaleta pesa pamoja na tukaweza kuenenda kununua vitu ambazo tunaona ni za muhimu na zinaweza saidia watoto especially wakati wa Christmas, hata wafurahie. Kaweza kununua unga, kaweza kuwanunulia biskuiti, juice, vitu zile ambazo watu wengi wanazitumia wakati huu wa Christmas katika hali ya kufurahia. Na wakati tunasherehekea Christmas ni vizuri kwa sababu sio kusema watu wote wako na pesa, lakini ni kujinyima kidogo kidogo, wanauganisha, na yote ikiletwa pamoja itaweza kuguza familia 2 ama 3 ama children's home 2 ama 3.
And the Kenya Coffee Producers Association has sensitized coffee farmers in Bungoma County on what they should do to benefit from coffee farming. The association leaders have asked the government to come up with better policies to protect the coffee farmers, produce so as to benefit farmers in the country. Our reporter Nicholas Kivite has more details.
At the event, the leaders of the Kenya Coffee Producers Association have presented a report on research that they had conducted on challenges of coffee farming and various strategies that can be used to improve the sector.
Wakati kahawa iko chini, labda hawataweza kuingia kwa sababu ile kahawa anataka kiwango yake inakuanga juu. Pia tuna changamoto ya ubade ya kusiaga kahawa. Ukiangalia sana sana kahawa inasiagwa na shirika moja kubwa la New KPCU. Na ukiangalia kapasiti yake na ile kahawa imekuwa ikisiagwa hapo mbeleni, labda utaona ya kwamba ile kahawa itakuwa ikimaliza kusiagwa haitakuwa ikitosha ile kiwango imekuwa ikisiagwa hapo mbeleni.
According to the leaders, despite the government eliminating coffee brokers in the country, they feel that there is still a gap for the farmers to understand what they need to do to successfully grind and sell their produce. Speaking at the event, the Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Coffee Producers Association, Sarah Nyaga, has called upon the government through the Ministry of Agriculture to refocus on policies that will enable coffee farmers to benefit from their work.
We feel the government should go further, therefore, to make the farmer be fully in charge of his coffee milling and marketing by enhancing the capacity of the farmer, because our study findings brought out a lot of knowledge gaps on the area of milling and the marketing of coffee. From the farmer perspective, the farmer is lacking a lot of knowledge on that area. And so as much as the government has put the farmer in charge of milling and marketing, the farmer is not able to steer the agenda because he's lacking in terms of knowledge.
In addition, the coffee farmers in the western region have called upon the government to remember the small-scale coffee farmers to ensure that they benefit from their farming despite the high competition from the farmers who are involved in the farming of Robusta coffee.
Hizi county zote zikihamasishwa Robusta iweze kupandwa, tutaweza kuwa na a very big leap in production, sababu Robusta ina produce mingi kuliko Arabica. Na kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali through KCPA watusaidie ili tuweze kuhamasisha our production levels. Pili, mkisikia kwamba Uganda wana produce a lot of coffee, wana produce kwa sababu wako na Robusta. Robusta na haishikwi na magonjwa. Kwa hivyo sisi tunafurahi siku ya leo sababu KCPA wamekuja kutufunza na kuona gaps ambaye sisi kama watu wa Robusta tunapata kama wakulima.
This comes at a time when the Kenyan government through the Ministry of Agriculture has been striving to assist farmers reduce their production cost, especially through the distribution of the subsidized fertilizers. Speaking today at the Kenya Ports Authority in Mombasa, after receiving 45,000 tons of tea fertilizer, the CS of Agriculture, Mithika Rinduri, noted that the government of Kenya through its ministry has planned ambitious strategies to assist all farmers in various ways to increase their produce in an effort to reduce the cost of living.
Cost of living can only be achieved through our people getting back to the farms. And President William Ruto has pronounced himself a number of times. His core business is to support production, is to subsidize production by way of ensuring that the costs of inputs are calmed down, so that our farmers are able to access them cheaply and produce our food cheaply.
Reporting for Ob Newswatch, my name is Nicholas Kivite.
Local business news. Kenya Investment Authority Can Invest has unveiled comprehensive measures to enhance investment climate through the launch of its strategic plan. The launch follows the recent publication of a draft investment promotion and facilitation bill by Can Invest. The bill is now open for public participation, demonstrating the government's commitment to creating an enabling environment for investment in the country. Speaking during the launch, Principal Secretary Investment Promotion Abubakar Hassan Abubakar noted that the government has generated leaders during the year 2023 and moving into the new year guided by the strategic plan will begin to transition.
Currently, we have 8 agencies situated at the Kenya Investment Authority. And now we are adding 12 more. So 12 institutions will be housed centrally at Kenya Investment Authority to facilitate you so that you don't go many places. and Kenya National Investment Council has proposed to automate that process with 3 features. 1, they are automating it. 2, there will be an appeal mechanism. If you get frustrated at Kenya Investment Authority, you will appeal to the National Investment Council. And 3, you will have a green lane mechanism. Depending on your level of investment, if you're putting an investment which is impactful and transformational in our account, you will get the president here. They will organize for you to meet the president. You don't have to parachute yourself to setups.
With regard to integrated investment facilitation and aftercare, the goal here is to implement the investment facilitation, promotion facilitation framework that has been developed by the National Investment Council to ensure that we also have a strong and automated framework. All the investors should be able to serve themselves at the comfort of their offices or their rooms, and we are able to track your investment real time, and decision makers will have a dashboard and they're able to hold everybody within the investment value chain accountable.
And on sports news, Harambee Stars coach Engin Firat has been recognized as the best Turkish coach abroad at the Istanbul Ata Club Award 2023. Speaking after receiving the award, Firat conveyed his joy at the international recognition, highlighting the contrast with the lack of acknowledgement he feels in Kenya. The Istanbul Ata Club award ceremony also saw Galatasaray, a prominent Turkish football club, clinch the Team of the Year award, while Vincenzo Montella was bestowed with the Coach of the Year in Turkey award. Manchester United, Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid said on Thursday they remain committed to playing in competitions run by UEFA following the proposal of the new 64-team European club competition by Super League's backers A22 Sports. This follows even as A22 Sports Management, who are active promoters of the breakaway European Super League, announced plans for a new 64-team men's tournament following the European Court of Justice ruling the UEFA broke EU law in blocking the rival competition. More than 46 women and youth groups in Kisii County have received 10 million from National Government Affirmation Action Fund. Speaking during the disbursement, Kisii woman representative Doris Donya, she urged women and youth to maximize their participation in key economic sectors and acknowledge the pivotal role played by women in society.
Tumekuja kupeana pesa za chama. Hizi pesa juu kidogo zenye tunapatiwa pakota, what I did ndio wamama wapate pesa itawasaidia kidogo. Ushinda nipeane ile 50,000 ni kidogo. Chama inakuwa na over 100 members na wamama wanafanya kazi nzuri sana. Nikaamua kuweka hizi pesa pamoja, at least mama mwenye anapata pesa kidogo ni 150. Hiyo ndio pesa, hata ukifanya kitu ni boost. Jumlaona hata kwa hustler fund unaweza chukua 500. But yetu hapa inaanzia 150 kwenda juu, na hivi inafuata vile wale mama walijaza. Kuna wenye wanaandika project yao kule juu, wakifanya analysis wanasema hii inastahili hii inastahili hii. Si women rep anasema ile pesa wa mama wanapewa, ni wao wanaandika kwa application form. So leo tumekuwa na chama ambazo zina benefit ni 46. Hawa 46 wanapata between 150 na 250. Hizi pesa ndo wanaenda kutumia. Tena next year tuweke hivyo pesa, tuweke hivyo. Kwa nini? Women rep anapata 6.2 kwa constituency. Hapo ndo unapata pesa ya development. Pia hapo ndo tunatoa bursary, hapo ndo tunatoa chama. Sasa mimi narudishia wamama wa Kisii County zile pesa ambazo wamenipatia. Wakipiga pesa mingi watapata pesa mingi. Kwa sasa tuna appreciate. Hii ndio iko hapa. Hiyo ndio kazi ilituleta hapa, na tena until next time tunasema asante.
That's all we had for you on Newswatch tonight, and many thanks for staying tuned. I leave you with a special interview on the impact of Hope Media's 100 for 1 fundraiser campaign that has been running this few months, known as Rafiki Nimso. Happy holidays. I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Welcome to today's special segment where we have our head of media, Mr. Dismas Makanda. We're going to talk about a campaign that has been running on Hope Media, a campaign called Rafiki Mso. We'll just want to take some few minutes to talk about Rafiki Mso. Karibu sana, Mr. Dismas, karibu sana to our show today. And kindly, will you tell our viewer what has been running about this Rafiki Mso? The campaign has been going on radio, Hope FM, TV, Hope TV, and the digital platforms. Will you kindly tell us what is Rafiki Mso?
Thank you, Dickens. I'm glad to be on this platform today just to talk to our viewers and our listeners about what we do at Hope Media. Probably it's important to just let our audience, listeners and viewers, to know who is Hope Media. Hope Media is a national media house where we broadcast both on TV and on radio. Radio is Hope FM, and TV is Hope TV. God has allowed us to be in this space for about 20 years now, and we are truly grateful. We have seen what the Lord has done amongst our listeners and our viewers. It's an outreach arm of CITAM, fully owned by CITAM, to be able to broadcast to the whole world about Christ and what Christ can do in the lives of people. And therefore, for us to be able to go on air, we've had a lot of input from the ministry, that is CITAM, who have invested immensely for the last 20 years in terms of equipment. Dickens, when you go to our studios, we have one of the very sophisticated studios and equipment in this country in terms of broadcast, and the ministry has invested quite a bit in that area. We also have our broadcasting sites across the country where we have our FM transmission sites where we transmit in a number of locations. We are not in all locations, but largely almost 75% of this country are able to listen to us on Hope FM. We also have people who are our biggest resources. And therefore, the ministry has also invested in talented people, but not only talented people who are born again, who love the Lord. When they go on air, who prepare adequately. And therefore, for us to be able to do this, we need resources. So all this time, we have been on air because of people who have partnered with us, mostly through CITAM, people who give their tithe and offering to CITAM, and that money is used to run the ministry. And one of the ministries, Hope Media. We have people who are not members of CITAM. They don't actually tithe or give to CITAM, but they directly listen and watch what we do, and therefore they have come on board for many years to give to this ministry. And we decided to come up with a community. We are calling them Friends of Hope. People who love what we do, people who believe in the message of Christ, who believe that the ministry we do through airwaves, holistic content, blesses many people. And therefore, these people, we call them Friends of Hope, and they have been giving to us for these years. So towards the end of September, we decided, why don't we give an opportunity to many more people? Just open up a platform where we can have more awareness about what we do. So what we did, we began with just showing people what has been the impact. We went across the country, counties, we went into villages.
That is September 2023.
September 2023, telling people how have their life been transformed through Hope Media. And for those who have been watching us and listening to us, you might have seen the testimonies, people confessing that if it was not Hope Media, if it was not Hope FM, Hope TV, then their lives would not have been transformed. So after we did that, then we said, can we give an opportunity to a number of people across the country? And we have viewers and people who listen to us in the country and outside the country. And therefore, we decided to do a fundraising, a targeted fundraising to allow every person to plug in. And therefore, we called this campaign 100 for 1. Maybe those who are watching and listening may be wondering, what is 100 for 1? Basically, we were saying, if you are able to give us 100 shillings, we can be able to reach one more soul. If we had, say, 2 million people who were able to give us 100 shillings, then we will be able to raise money enough to be able to go to places where we have not been. And therefore, we were saying for any person who plugged in during this period, we are calling them Rafiki Mso. Rafiki Mso basically is a strong friend that you have, but also Mso in other language in Kenya here, Mso means 100. So basically, 100 for 1, Rafiki Mso. A fundraising campaign that has been on, and this is our last month.
Why just 100? Why 100?
We believe that every person who listens to us matters. Sometimes when you talk about fundraising, people think about 10,000 to 1 million. But we believe for every Kenyan and non-Kenyan who listen to us should be able to plug in, so that they know that this is their station, and therefore we are telling people who are in the villages, and we knew that any Kenya has ability to be able to raise 100 shilling if they are working or they have an income, so that they become part of this story. It's a story that we wanted every person be part of. And therefore, we have seen young people who are in colleges, who have just plugged in and have made this part of their life. Today, when you talk about Rafiki Mso and the song that we hear on Hope FM, people will know that this is the time to give. And I've seen anytime we play that song on Hope FM or on TV, we see many people plugging in. People just go on their phones, and we see people who are devoted. Some of them have sent us messages saying, I've given 100. Others have sent out saying 10,000. I was amazed when I saw one of our listeners giving 100,000 because of what we were doing. He say, I believe in what you do, and therefore I want to reach out to a little bit more people. And he gave out 100,000 Kenya shillings, Dickens.
Okay, Mr. Makanda, would you say now the campaign has impacted, or you have reached your target? For example, you started in September. You said September 2023, and then we are in December 2023. So far, how is the campaign?
We have had a huge impact, Dickens. There are many people who did not know the story of Hope FM and Hope TV. For the 20 years we have been on air, there are a number of people who just thought probably it's a place where we play music, and probably a place where we read news or we have programs running, but opportunity to allow people whose life have been transformed. Somebody who was in the hospital for more than 6 months, and he tells us that the only companion he had was a Hope FM. People who were on the brink of giving up in life, some wanted to kill themselves, and telling us, when I listened to that program, my life was transformed. So number one is in terms of the testimonies that we have received, because we opened it up willingly for people to come and give testimonies, either on radio and TV. And for those who have been watching, you've been able to see that we have talked to leaders who have had platforms. Some of them have been content providers who have come on this platform. There are times on some of our programs, we are able to reach out to about 400,000 people within 1 hour. Dickens, I don't know how many people you need to sit down in some of our assemblies to be able to make that kind of impact. 400,000, when you look at some of our biggest assemblies in the country, that could be about 80,000 sittings for you to be able to reach out. So the ministers who have come here, they will say, they will travel out of the country and they say, I heard you on Hope FM. I heard you on Hope TV. So the leaders who have had an impact on this platform, men and women who have given their life to the Lord, the young people, we have quite a bit of content around young people on TV and radio whose life have been transformed. On Fridays and weekends, when young people are looking at a place to go, there's a space where you have clean content, you have family content. On Sundays, we are running one of the leading content that targets ages between 5 to 10. So the impact has been significant during this time because awareness was high. Number two is that we've had people who have given. I mentioned to you that people gave up to 100,000.
Sure.
Our target was to be able to reach 2 million people giving 100 shillings towards the ministry. I can tell you when you look at the numbers, what we were getting before is almost 4 or 5 times. When I look at the numbers that people were giving towards this initiative in January, and when you check between September and December, close to 4 or 5 fold what we were getting before. So in terms of resources, we have been able to have an advantage of raising some money that is designated specifically to expand our reach, to allow our audience, those who are online, or currently we are working on our online infrastructure, our website, our social media pages, to ensure that the quality, the content, the transmission is high. Number two is to ensure that locations where we are not, especially Hope FM, we've had a lot of our audience who travel from Nairobi when they go up country, especially now during Christmas. Many people will be traveling towards up country. You travel on a road, say for example, you're going to Kitui, and somewhere when you're heading towards Mwingi or you're going towards Mwea, or you're going towards Narok, or you're going past Kisumu towards Busia, you find the frequencies are not strong. And therefore, these resources, in the coming few months, we have targeted locations. Some of the locations we've targeted to be able to expand. Number one is Lower Eastern. So I want to assure our people and our audience, the listeners from Lower Eastern, if you have not plugged in, no, this is your stake. We will be expanding our reach to Lower Eastern, Dickens. We are also planning to expand our reach, some parts of Western where we are not very strong. We are planning to expand our frequencies in Nakuru. You realize when you drive from Nairobi towards Nakuru, somewhere around flyover, you find the frequencies are not very strong. We will be expanding that area. So basically, the resources that have been given by our listeners and the people who view what we do and have plugged in, all that amount the Ministry of CITAM will dedicate it towards expansion and reaching out to more people. Dickens.
And will you say the campaign is still ongoing, or maybe it has a time frame?
Yeah, the campaign was running for 4 months. And allow me just make a call. Probably we may just hit our 2 million during this program. If you're watching us and maybe this is the first time you're hearing about Trafikim So, 100 for one. We are saying 100. If you didn't hear me well, it's 100 shillings. You simply get to your M-Pesa. The pay bill number is very simple. 933 933. I can repeat that again. Just go to your M-Pesa number. Account number is 933 933. And then you put in FOH, Friends of Hope, and then give your 100 shillings. The campaign is ending on 31st of December. We have a few days to the end of the year. And this will be a gift. Probably you've been wondering, how do I celebrate this Christmas? How can I bless a life? I want to give an opportunity that with your 100 shillings, even as you watch this live broadcast, you may be the one that God is using to reach out to 1 or 2 people. You may want to give out to 100 people. It's basically simple. M-Pesa 933, and then account number is FOH. FOH is Friends of Hope.
Okay. Now, as we finalize our interview, maybe just a last question. What message will you tell a friend of hope? Or maybe there's someone who, after listening to you, will want to partner or come in and be a friend of hope. What's the criteria, and how will you tell that person?
I think first it's important to acknowledge strongly, again, allow me to repeat, that there are people who have given to us. We get to go through these numbers on a daily basis. We interact with them, share with them feedback. let me, on behalf of Hope Media staff, management, and the board, and the entire leadership of CITAM, to tell you thank you for giving your resources toward this ministry. Your resources will be used in the right manner. We have very accountable leaders in CITAM, structures that will allow every coin that is given by anyone is put to the right use. And therefore, receive our gratitude. We are so grateful that you took time to set aside your resources and give to this ministry. We are committed to change the space in media through holistic content, a place where a whole family can sit for 24 hours and your lives are transformed. But also you may be a leader watching this or listening, and you have an institution, an organization who believe in what we do. You believe that media is the space where we will transform the world. You have an opportunity to write to us or get in touch with us, go to our website and tell us you want to be a partner. This will go on beyond this year, and therefore we will be getting in touch with you and telling you how else can you be able to partner with us in the coming days. But the individual people are able to give, the space is open. If you can't give this year, next year we welcome you to be part of this process, part of this campaign, part of this journey of transforming the world through holistic media.
Thank you, Mr. Makanda, for your time, for making time for this special segment on Rafiki Mso campaign. And from our studios here, I want just to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And just to remind you that if you have not been a Rafiki Mso, or you haven't given the 100 shillings to the Rafiki Mso campaign, just take out your phone, go to the M-Pesa section and pay bill section, and then put the number 933, and then use the account number FOH, which means Friends of Hope. Thank you so much for doing that and for your time. My name is Dickens Luvanda, and thank you so much once again for being a Rafiki Mso.